But I'm interested to dig into that a little bit to your comments, Christine, about specifically, like you talked about, you've clearly consumed a bunch of the content. That, there's a lot of information out there when it comes to this money stuff, and I get that the time piece is clearly a big one. I'm a huge fan of outsourcing when it comes to that stuff, because you're getting it straight from the source. You don't have to worry about it. Plus, you have peace of mind that everything is done correctly. But what do you think, like in terms of doing the research yourself versus drawing on, a professional to help you? What do you think the difference is from an outcome and process perspective on between those two options?
I think probably time. If you do it yourself, it's probably just going to take longer. You also can't use that time to do stuff that you actually like. Like the fun things. I do think, I did some research before, and you also did some reading, just to get a sort of a feel and understanding of the topic in general, so that when you talk to someone, you don't just sit there and they could tell you whatever, because you don't have any clue about the topic, and you're just saying, oh yeah, yes, sounds good, to anything.
Totally.
I was kind of, we were in the same boat. I think for me, was sort of predominantly like, having all that, like you said before, all that information out there. And it's just so much of it that, that kind of led to sort of frustration, which kind of led to sort of inaction. Just sort of freezing a little bit. Because like you don't really know where, should I take that advice or should I go down that road, sort of thing. So obviously, like seeking that advice, it's just it's a time saver. You're also potentially saving, money. But it's like anything, you will go to experts to sort of solve those problems for you, because they have the right tools to do it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that frustration is really common, because you end up like, one, it can be challenging. You know that it's important. You don't want to get it wrong. And then so you look at something and you might read on some, might be a forum or might be a piece of content, and you go, well, this ETF is good, or index funds are good, or ethical investments are good, and then X, Y, Z. But then you go, which platform do I use, or what's the wrapper that I put on that? And then you're like, oh, this. And then you go, well, where's the risk coming from with this stuff? And then all of a sudden you're like, shit, this is too hard. And then you do nothing. And then more time passes, and then you've missed that opportunity to start doing stuff and get the results.
Yeah, I also think, like, just for people out there that are thinking about it, I ask myself, how much is my time worth, right? And how much would I pay a financial advisor? And then sort of, is that money, is it worth the time that I would spend sitting in this for maybe a year or two, doing the research and, like reading all these comments? Probably not, then I'd rather just pay someone and go off and have, to the beach and hang out with friends, than having to do that all by myself.
Yeah. And it's also, what's the cost of that delayed action as well, that if it takes you 6 months to do it instead of 6 weeks, then there is a price around that.